The bank manager looked at Zuba across the desk. "I'm sorry," he said. "We cannot give you the loan." Zuba felt her heart drop. She had $15,000 in her savings account. It was everything she had. Every dollar from 3 years of working 2 jobs in Phoenix, Arizona. Every coin she saved instead of sending money home to Rwanda. Now she had a choice. Keep the money safe in the bank or risk it all on a dream. This is the story of the biggest decision of her life. Zuba came to Arizona from Rwanda 5 years ago. She left behind her family, her friends, and the green hills of her homeland. She came with 1 suitcase and $200 in her pocket. In Kigali, she had been a teacher, but in America, her teaching certificate meant nothing. So she started from zero. Her first job was cleaning offices at night. Her second job was working at a coffee shop during the day. She slept 5 hours each night. She lived in a small apartment with 3 roommates. She never bought new clothes. She never ate at restaurants. But Zuba had a plan. Every week, she put money into her savings account. After 3 years, she had $15,000. It was her safety net. It was her security. It made her feel less afraid in this new country. One day, Zuba was walking through downtown Phoenix when she saw an empty shop. It was small, with big windows and good light. There was a for lease sign on the door. Zuba stopped walking. She looked through the window, and suddenly she could see it. She could see her dream. She wanted to open a cafe, not just any cafe, A1-A2 Caffee, a place that served coffee from her homeland. A place that sold mandazi, the sweet fried bread she grew up eating. A place that felt like home. That night, Zuba could not sleep. She did the math over and over again. The rent for the shop was $2,000 per month. She needed money for equipment, for furniture, for inventory. She needed money for licenses and permits. She needed money for marketing. The total cost? $40,000. She went to 3 banks. She filled out loan applications. She showed them her business plan. She explained her idea. But every bank said the same thing. You don't have enough credit history. You don't have collateral. We cannot help you. Zuba felt frustrated. In Rwanda, she had been successful. She had been respected. Here in America, the bank saw her as too risky. They saw her as just another immigrant with a dream. She had 2 options. She could give up on her cafe and keep working her 2 jobs, or she could invest her own money and find partners to invest the rest. This was the moment that kept her awake for many nights. If she invested her $15,000 and found partners for the remaining $25,000, she could open her cafe. But what if the business failed? She would lose everything. 3 years of sacrifice would disappear. She would have to start over again from zero. But if she didn't try, she would always wonder, what if? If you're enjoying this story and learning new English words, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps us create more stories like this one for you. Thank you. Zuba made a decision. She would take the risk. She called her uncle in Kigali. He was a businessman who believed in her. "Uncle," she said, "I need your help." She explained her plan. Her uncle listened carefully. Then he said, "I will invest $10,000. But Zuba, you must make this work. This is not just money. This is trust." Next, Zuba talked to her roommate, Maniza. Maniza was an American who had become her best friend. "I believe in you," Maniza said. "I'll invest $5,000. We'll be partners." Finally, Zuba found 2 other investors through a community organization for entrepreneurs. They each invested $5,000. Now she had $40,000 total. $15,000 from her own savings. $25,000 from investors and partners. There was no turning back. The next 3 months were the hardest of Zuba's life. She signed the lease for the shop. She bought equipment, an espresso machine, a refrigerator, tables, chairs. She found a supplier for Rwandan coffee beans. She hired a contractor to paint the walls bright colours, like the markets in Kigali. Every day she worried, what if customers didn't come? What if people in Phoenix didn't like Rwandan coffee? What if she couldn't pay the rent? She worked 18 hours a day. She learned about health inspections, business licenses, and tax forms. She created a menu. She designed a logo. She trained 2 employees. Her savings account went down and down. $10,000, $5,000, $1,000. Finally, opening day arrived. Zuba stood in front of her cafe at 6 in the morning. The sign above the door said Amahoro Cafe. Amahoro means peace in Kinyarwanda, her language. She turned the key and opened the door. The first customer arrived at 7 o'clock. Then another. Then another. By noon, there was a line outside. People loved the coffee. They loved the mandazi. They loved the colourful decorations and the warm atmosphere. They loved Zuba's smile and her story. In the first month, Amahoro Cafe made $12,000 in revenue. After paying rent, salaries and suppliers, Zuba had a profit of $3,000. It wasn't much, but it was a start. In the second month, revenue grew to $15,000. In the third month, $18,000. Zuba started to breathe easier. Her gamble was paying off. Her risk was becoming a reward. 1 year later, Amahoro Cafe was one of the most popular coffee shops in Phoenix. Zuba had paid back all her investors. She was making a steady profit. She had hired 5 employees, including 2 other Rwandan immigrants who needed jobs. She finally sent money home to her mother in Rwanda. Not the small amounts she used to send, but enough to build her mother a new house. The bank manager who rejected her loan, he came to her cafe one day. He didn't recognize Zuba at first. When he ordered his coffee, Zuba smiled and said, "Thank you for saying no. It made me find another way." Today, Amahoro Cafe has 3 locations in Arizona. Zuba's net worth is over $200,000. She still works hard every day, but now she works for herself. She built something from nothing. She took a risk and it changed her life. Sometimes the biggest risk is not trying at all. If you want another calm African story to improve your English, the next one is already waiting. Just tap one on the screen. Vocabulary list. 1. Loan. Money that you borrow from a bank and must pay back. Example, she applied for a loan to start her business. 2. Savings account, a bank account where you keep money to save it. Example, he puts $100 in his savings account every month. 3. Risk, the possibility of losing something or failing. Example, starting a business always involves risk. 4. Certificate, an official document that proves you completed training. Example, she has a teaching certificate from her university. 5. Safety net, something that protects you if things go wrong. Example, her savings were her safety net. 6. Lease, a contract to rent a building or space. Example, they signed a lease for the shop. 7. Inventory, the products and supplies a business has. Example, the cafe needed coffee beans for its inventory. 8. Permits, official documents that give permission to do something. Example, you need permits to open a restaurant. 9. Marketing, activities to promote and sell products or services. Example, good marketing helped attract customers. 10. Credit history, a record of how you borrowed and paid back money. Example, banks check your credit history before giving loans. 11. Collateral, property or assets you promise to give if you can't pay back a loan. Example, the bank wanted collateral for the loan. 12. Invest, to put money into something to make a profit later. Example, her uncle decided to invest in her cafe. 13. Partners, people who own and run a business together. Example, she found 3 partners to help fund the cafe. 14. Sacrifice, giving up something important for a goal. Example, 3 years of sacrifice went into saving that money. 15. Entrepreneur, a person who starts and runs a business. Example, she joined an organization for entrepreneurs. 16. Revenue, the total money a business receives from sales. Example, the cafe made $12,000 in revenue the first month. 17. Profit, the money left after paying all business costs. Example, after expenses she had $3,000 in profit. 18. Suppliers, companies that provide products